It's your boy Pain, back for another video. Hey, this is a special video, but before I get into that, hit the like button, subscribe, turn post notifications. If you're new, we are on the road to 1,000 subs. We like 8 or 7 subs away, man. I'm really excited for y'all, man. I'm excited for myself. We so close to that goal of 1,000 subs, man. I appreciate all y'all, man. Pain Gang. And yeah, man, I told y'all I will have a tier list coming soon, my personal tier list. Now, bear with me because I am doing it on the phone. I will have a PC coming soon, laptop coming soon, all that's coming soon, man. You know what I'm saying? We in the beginning stages, obviously, just bear with me. But as y'all can see, we have the tier list maker right here. So let's get into it. I will be doing everything, tanks, DPS, and support. I'm going to give my reasoning why. And this is coming from a Celestial 3. This is coming from a Celestial 3, 50 out of 100 player. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if that matters to anybody, but this comes from a top 2% player. So, you know what I'm saying? You could take my word, you could not. You know what I'm saying? Everybody has an opinion on who's good, who's not. You know what I'm saying? So, I'm just here to get mine today. So, starting out, and I'm going to go in order. I ain't going to do, you feel me, like, actually, nah, I'm going to go in order. I'm going to do support first. So, this is for strictly support. Now, you know what I'm saying? In season 3.5, y'all let me know if y'all want to do individual videos for those specific seasons. The season has been out for like over a week and a half now, I'm pretty sure. So this is season's very new in. So let's get started. First I'm doing support. The first support is Adam Warlock. So obviously, if you play comp, high comp, whatever, unless this is a top 1% of Adams, you know what I'm saying, it's really hard to get value with this character. It's very hard to get value with him as a support. He's really good for dive, but they kind of nerfed him a little bit last season, so he took a drop. For me personally, I've used Adam. Now look, let me just as a disclaimer before I get into this video, I have used mostly all these characters. You know what I'm saying? And the characters I haven't used, they're not very good. And I'm just letting that be known now. But I have used Adam. And the ones that I haven't used, or like maybe I have only 10 minutes or 15 minutes on, I'll touch up on them a little bit too. Well, for Adam specifically, I'm putting them in D tier, bro. Like, being a Celestial, even in lower ranks, even when I'm smurfing or I'm on another account, I don't see Adam that much at all. I don't see anybody pick him that much. You know what I'm saying? Unless they're like Lord Adam or they really play him. But it's very, very, very rare for me to see Adam. Personally, when I played him, he's been okay, I guess. But his ultimate, you have to have very good positioning with, and you have to know when to use it, like the times to use it. Maybe in a 3-team comp, he's higher. But as a second DPS, he's not that good. So, and that's another thing I'm gonna say. Like maybe some of these supports, they might be higher in another team comp or a 3 support team comp, but by themselves or like just in a regular 2 support comp, he's not very good. Now I can scroll over the next DPS. The next support that I see is Cloak and Dagger, and personally, whoever knows this, if you know, obviously there's a lot of memes out there with the Buzz Lightyear. I'm put it up on the screen for you. I don't know if y'all know this, but it's probably one of the first lore everybody got. By far the easiest character in the game to use. By far, there's not an easier character to use than Cloak and Dagger in the entire game, other than maybe like a Punisher. You know what I'm saying? Because it's very straightforward. But as far as being in team comps and being a good support, I would put her in B. Now, if this is season 1 or season 0, as they would say, I would probably make her S tier. She would have been the best support in the game, but they nerfed her a lot. They nerfed her ultimate where it doesn't just like as soon as you go over, like you have to be in the area. Like at first you didn't have to be in the area, and then you have to be actually on the support area. But other than that, she's still a great support. And if you're new to the game, she has aim by hell, so it's not that difficult to use or grasp her. And then her cloak form, it's really really underrated. Not many people know this, but when you're in cloak and you do the R1, like it makes people more vulnerable, and you can do more damage, and you can kill through other support ults if you just do that alone, maybe with like a Punisher ult or a Hela ult. Some people don't know that, but just a little bit of free sauce. So yeah, she's in B tier for me. And yeah, I'm gonna go try to find the next support on this list. All right, the next support is Jeff, and Jeff right now I think is a lot of people that really dislike him. I don't know why. I feel like he's a really, really good support, and he's better. He's the best he's been since the game has been released. They reworked his kit. He actually feels like a support now. He doesn't just feel like a person that's a DPS and DPS and stuff like that. He actually feels like a support, and he can actually heal now. I'm gonna put him in B tier. Now, look, and if this was early in the season, You know what I'm saying? And season 2.5, early in the season 2.5, if y'all know the Jeff and stuff, the Jeff Shark tornado was stormed. The team up was crazy, but then people found a workaround. People found like basically a counter, I guess. So it's a lot of counters to him now. So him by himself, obviously in high comp, he doesn't have a defensive ult, so he gets ranked much lower. But he's for sure a really solid, really solid support in my opinion. And he can still give you a little bit of damage, and he is kind of an MVP MVP farmer. If you don't want to lose any points, you don't want to lose that many in ranked. But I look, now this is not me telling y'all to go play Jeff in high rank and celestial lobbies, GM lobbies, but I'm just saying he is an MVP farmer. He is a farmer of assists that that makes you get MVP, and that helps you not lose. If you are losing, that helps you not lose as much rank as you would if you were on another support. So with the next support, I have Loki, and obviously Loki is S tier. And anybody that doesn't think Loki is S tier doesn't know how to play him. Loki is by far probably the best support in the game. One of, if not the best support in the game, you know what I'm saying? And for a couple of reasons. One, obviously he has his lamps. If you don't know, his lamps give you basically just instant. It's basically like a mini ultimate, in just the lamp. It's basically a mini ultimate at any time with a cooldown, basically. And then obviously his ultimate himself, he can take other people's ultimates, which is obviously probably the best ult in the game since you can have whatever ult. I don't have to really explain much with Loki. He's really a strong support in the game. He gets banned a lot. I know for a fact he gets banned a lot. I almost have him lower myself. I have him Senatorian right now. So I know Loki is really strong in the game right now. I'm pretty sure he's going to get nerfed, but right now he's sitting at the top. He's in S tier, and I might have him number 1. But yeah. Luna Snow, I feel like Luna Snow now. Let me say this for Luna Snow. If you have good aim, Luna Snow is the best support in the game. That's if you have aim. If you are a calm support and you have good aim and you can, CC the, maybe a strange ult, or another ult, if you can CC them, then Luna is S tier, hands down, the best support in the game. She has a CC, she has a hit, she's basically a hit scan support. She has hit scan. But you do have to aim with her, so there's a little bit of a learning curve or whatever. Right? So, but she has the best ult in the game. Her ult lasts 12 seconds. They haven't nerfed it. They haven't did anything to it. Still the best ult in the game at for support. So, those two, Loki and Luna, I would say Luna is 1A and Loki is 1B, but they're the two best supports in the game. So, it's not much wrong. You can go there. Now, the next support on the list is Mantis. Now, Mantis is kind of tricky because she did receive a buff that she heals more to tanks, but I really don't think that puts her any higher than C. Yes, maybe in a team comp or, the Guardians of the Galaxy, the team up with Star-Lord and Adam, that makes her a little bit better. And maybe in a triple support comp, maybe that makes her better. But as far as, like I said before, in a 2-man comp where you're just running 2-2-2 and she's the second she's the second support, she's not very strong. So I'm gonna keep her in C tier. That I do like the buff that they gave her, but she needs way more than that. And now she's basically like a worse version of Luna, but with Luna, like her heals is better. You know what I'm saying? She doesn't have to wait for, any heals, wait for anything. There's no cooldown on Luna's heals. She can heal at all times, and Mantis just can't do that. So Mantis is C tier. I feel like Mantis could be in B or A tier, but they need to kind of not rework her kit, but they need to make her heals a little stronger. Maybe they need to make her get her leaves faster. But yeah, man, I think there's only 2 or 3 more support, and I do see Rocket right here. So I will put Rocket in A tier. I feel like Rocket this season took a little step back, but also I feel like Luna Snow got better than Rocket. Obviously, Loki was already better than Rocket if you know how to play them. But Rocket is really a great support. Since the release, he was kind of mid. He was kind of bad. They kind of reworked his kit and changed his ultimate, which made him completely better. Even though he has a hard counter on DPS right now in the game right now, so that's why I'm not making him S tier. He kind of has a hard counter right now, being in Phoenix. But other than that, though, and the other reason is I'm not putting him in S tier is his ult can be destroyed really fast. So I would say he's really low A tier and not high A tier going into S. He's really low A tier. So, yeah, Rocket, his ult is great, but it gets destroyed fast. That's why I'm not putting him in S tier. But he's definitely better than the other two, and he gets damage on top of shield. So, and, you know, if you rock, if people don't know this, but if you got a Moon Knight, a Hela, Strange, you know, Thor, Moon Knight, Punisher, all those characters, all those DPS and those tanks, they get affected by his ult, and they can do more damage and kill people faster. So, he really boosts his team, and he has, obviously, the Res Beacon, which is really, 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 really great for a support to have. It's just, you can come back instantly. That's really probably the best thing about him right now. So that's where I would put him. And last but not least, I think the final support in Marvel right now, obviously, is Ultron, the newest support to the game at this point. And from other opinions, I'm gonna take account. I know on my Smurf, I have been playing Ultron a lot, and I really do like him. But I'm gonna put him in B tier only because, one, his heals aren't the best. I feel like his ultimate is getting a lot of like negative praise or it has a lot of negativity around it. I feel like his ultimate is really good. It's just the 3 bursts. It's like, I don't know. It's 3 bursts, 4 bursts, 5 bursts, whatever the burst is. It's kind of a letdown. Like, why can't he just shoot it? Like infinitely. Like, why is it a burst on his ultimate? But his drone is kind of is good, but it doesn't do that. It doesn't heal that fast like a rocket, maybe. You know what I'm saying? Or obviously a cloak or a Luna. It doesn't. The only comp I can really have is rocket. It doesn't heal as fast as rocket's little bubble. So his shield, his overshield is really good. His circle ability or his dash is really good to get away from people. And obviously he's a flying healer, so he doesn't really have to worry about that much. But I feel like his ult is, for the way it is right now, it's underwhelming. So I feel like he just needs a little tune up to that. But I feel like Ultron has a lot of potential to be a really, like, maybe even A tier. So, but but you got to really know how to play him and know how to position yourself, especially when you playing a hit scan DPS or DPS that can shoot you or knock you out the sky, stuff like that. So, and he has a counter, which is Ultron, obviously. So, yeah, man. So that was all the support. Y'all let me know, and I will get into DPS. So let's go back to the top, man. You know what I'm saying? Now, first, the first DPS at the top is BP, Black Panther, the tickle god, the tickle man himself. I feel like this season there's been a lot of BP bans. I don't know why, but I'm gonna put him in B tier. I feel like there's better divers out right now. Well, people would say, "Oh, well, he should be a tier above." Me personally, in the lobbies that I play in, the only time a BP really does good, and this is just playing in any rank, that is when people just ignore him and just don't peel. Like, if you're playing in a high lobby and you have the same intelligence of your other team and you're peeling, your teammates are peeling, it don't even have to be the tanks. If somebody else is peeling, like, I don't really think BP should be, maybe A tier. Maybe he's A tier in a lower rank, but I'm talking about specifically like Celestial and above lobbies and, lobbies like that, not just those ranks. Maybe in lower ranks he's A tier, S tier even. But for me, he might be high B tier, maybe into A tier, but I'm going to put him at B tier for right now just because of like all the like counters that he has and like that stuff that's in the game specifically for him. Even like support like Ultron, that even if he's diving, he can't dive the Ultron, and Ultron could just give his drone, to a support, and the support will never die. So stuff like that. He just BP just right now, he has a lot of counters, and you can't really. He's a dive, so you can't really do much. He doesn't have a gun or anything. So yeah, I think B tier is a solid spot for him though. There's actually a lot of worse DPS I think in the game to him. So I think B is solid for BP. But what next on the list? The next DPS is Black Widow, and off the break, I'm gonna see, maybe B tier with a Mantis. Maybe B tier with the Punisher team up, which is actually very good, I would say. But for right now, I'm going to put her in C tier because she relies too heavily on other things and ninks and stuff like that. She relies on a Mantis too much. She relies on a Punisher team up too much. By herself, she's not really that good, And I have seen some videos, Black Widows go crazy and stuff like that. I played with some Black Widows that are crazy before. I do know, and it is tough, but Black Widow for me isn't that much of a problem, isn't that much of a DPS that's like in the meta or anything even below that. For me, she's in C tier. Now, teammate, partner, Hawkeye, the next DPS up on the list. I would say Hawkeye is A. And this is why. They kind of nerfed this the Luna team up, but I feel like obviously the potential of one-hitting squishies, one-hitting support is obviously very big. A Hawkeye, if unanswered or not targeted, can really mess up your support the entire game, for real, if I'm being honest. And yeah, I'm going to leave it at that. He got a little buff, but then he got nerfed with the Luna. So, I mean, it's a good balance. He shouldn't be shooting through walls anyways. I don't know why they added that, but it's a good nerf. He still got the same kit, the same stuff. They didn't change anything when they buffed him. So I feel like he's in A tier, middle A tier, and that's this is a good spot for him. Now obviously probably the best DPS in the game right now. It's not entirely hard wide. She can two-top pretty much anybody in the game except for tanks. So I mean obviously that's strong if it's headshots. So her kit is good. She has mobility. She has a stun. Her ult can milk. She counters a lot of ults in the game. She counters Storm's ult. She counters Punisher ult. And she's really just solid all around. Obviously, she's a hit scan. So all of the and everybody that she kills. Obviously, again, she can two-type anybody. So that's not tanks. So it's very strong in the game. They haven't nerfed her at all. So I'm pretty sure she's gonna get a nerf soon. But right now, she's probably the best DPS in the game. And it's a big gap right now. So, all right. Oh, okay. So the next DPS on the list is Iron Fist, the tank buster. This is probably like the opposite. This is probably like just a mirror, not a mirror image. This is the opposite version of Wolverine. Iron Fist is a tank buster. That's why I like to call Wolverine. They're both tank busters. They do a lot of damage to tanks. For his case, I would say he's probably somewhere around B and A tier. So I'm gonna put him in. He's going to be high. For me, he's going to be high B tier, maybe into A. Last season, he was really cracked. He was really nerfed a lot. If this is last season, he probably would have been maybe probably even S tier, let alone A tier. But for right now, he's in B tier. He got nerfed a little bit. They decreased basically all his damage for real. They decreased it a little bit, but he's still a good DPS. He's still, a good dive. Obviously, he's a tank buster, so that's always a plus. And yeah, I think he should be in, this is last season. He probably would have been S tier, but right now for me, he's B tier. And the next DPS is Iron Man. Now, this is what I would say for Iron Man. I'm not going to put him in C tier. I want to put him in C tier, but I'm not going to put him in C tier. And the reason why I will put him in C tier is because he's easy to kill. Like, if you focus on Iron Man, he's not going to do nothing. And you can't. Look. This is coming from a hit scan, a person that plays hit scan, that plays against a lot of Iron Mans, that plays hit scan majority. It's like literally my main role is playing hit scan. Bucky and Punisher, those are my two mains. Me personally, if you focus Iron Man, he's dead. He's not gonna do that much. His poke. They nerfed him basically to the ground this season. They took away the gamma with Hulk. So now he does even less damage. What I will say is, if you don't focus him, he will kill very, very fast. He will kill DPS very fast because of his unibeam. But other than that, though, I don't really see him being anything higher than B tier and maybe even in C tier. So, and this is my personal opinion. Iron Man is not that strong in the game if you focus him. But if you don't, he can stretch you. I will say that, but they nerfed him a lot. So this is where he is. He's probably in low B tier right now. And yeah, so the next DPS in the game is Magic, everybody's favorite dive. I'm going to say A tier, low A tier for Magic. Magic is very good. I feel like Magic probably is the best dive DPS in the game, better than BP in my opinion. I feel like they haven't buffed her in a while. Like, she needs a buff. She hasn't got any love, you know what I'm saying? So I feel like right now she's in A tier. This is a good place for her to be. She's in low A tier though. Now she's better than BP, but not by a lot. She can just destroy lamps fast. So basically for supports, she can one tap. She has a one tap move in her ult for supports. Like, that's very strong if you know how to do it. And yeah, man, I feel like that she needs a buff, but we don't know. I don't think she's gonna get one anytime soon, to be honest. But right now she's in low H. I think that's a good ranker for her. So the next DPS, they got Moon Knight. Now Moon Knight has received a lot of buffs recently, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm going to put him in high B tier too. I would say low A tier, but I don't think he's credit of being in that tier. This is season 2.5. He probably would have been an A tier because his ult was cracked and it was glitched. But this season, I mean, he's kind of easy to kill too. He has some movement, but it's not that much. It's not that much movement for you're gonna get either shot or just taken out the air regardless. Moon Knight, he's a solid. He's a projectile. So, yeah, I mean his ultimate is okay if you combine it. If you combine his ult with other ults like maybe a Groot ult, it's very good. So, it's a good combo ult, but by itself, I mean you could just literally walk out of it. I think they tried to buff his the range of what he does, but it's not really that much. You can still just walk out of it depending on how low you are. So, and in high comp, you're gonna get killed, or if it's not a combo ult by itself, people are just gonna walk out of it. So, B tier I think is where he should be at. And the next DPS on the list is Namor. Now, I will say, now this might be a what should I do? This might be controversial. I'm gonna put him in B tier. And the reason why I want to put him in low A tier, but because he got a lot of buffs that make him actually really a lot better than he was last season in 2.5. But I'm gonna put him in high B tier because he relies a lot on the Hulk team up still, and I feel like they were trying to get him to a point where he didn't need it, but he still does. Obviously, they boosted his throw. They boosted his squid. I'm pretty sure they boosted his squid damage, his spear throw, and his other spear. It's a combo out right now that you can literally one-tap people. It's very strong. But that's if you have really, really great aim and like the person is literally not being hit at all. So it's a hard combo to hit, but it is out there. So, but they did buff him a lot. So I will give him high. He is now better than he was last season. He is a high B tier DPS in this game. But yeah, I don't think he goes much further than that without the Gamma team up with the green squid. So this is where Namor is. And the next DPS is Psylocke. And I'm not going to lie, Psylocke is the first DPS probably to make my S tier rank other than Hela. She's probably the best dive in the game. That's why I said Magic is number 2. The best dive in the game, 100%, is Psylocke. With any dive comp, she's probably the best dive. Even if you are not playing a dive comp, she's still great. She can go invisible. She can dash. She can get in and out of situations. She's really good. Her ult is really good, especially if you don't have any ults. Like, how some ults you can just live through it. Nobody's living through this ult. They're going to die. And the only way they might not live through it if they have their ult. So, Psylocke is a really, really, really strong DPS in the dive comps right now with Captain America, Thor, I'm pretty sure y'all seen those dive comps, or Venom. So, yeah. Now, even if you want to put her in high A tier, I would. But this is my personal list. I'm gonna put her in S tier with Hela. There isn't too many DPS better than her. There's really not really any at all. So that's where I think she deserves to be at. And with the next DPS, my GOAT Punisher, one of my first lords, but Punisher. Last season, 2.5, I feel like before they nerfed this turn, it was S tier. But this season, I'm going to bump him down to A tier. They nerfed this turn, but that was the only thing they nerfed. He's still a great DPS. He's hit scan, obviously. He can melt ults. He can melt he counter storm ult. You can combo him a rock, and he can kill through any other ult. So, Punisher's still really strong in the game. He just got a nerf to his turret. I guess it's less of his ult charge, but he's still a great DPS in the game and probably still top 5. So... And the next DPS is Scarlet Witch Wanda. Depending on the comp, I'm gonna say she's C tier. I mean, not C tier, she's B tier, just because she helps dive. Now, if you have look, I'm not adding team ups to this. This is just without the team up. This is like just based by themselves. Are they good or not, or what tier do they deserve? By herself, she's probably B tier, but with the strange team up, she's probably A tier. Obviously, she's probably the best dive counter right now, I would say, other than like the tanks. Obviously, I'm gonna name them when I name them, but she's probably the best dive counter right now for DPS, other than maybe Namor. But Namor really relies on his squids too much. She can really just do it. She doesn't need the team up, but the team up, especially for dive, it kills dive instantly. So By herself, she's B tier, and I think that's where she needs to be. She probably can use. I don't really think she needs to be buffed anymore. Like, she just needs to stay in this place right now. Like, she's good. She has her little team up. You know, she's very strong. What Strange? You know what I'm saying? I don't think she should be that strong by herself. I think they got her in a good spot, and this is where she should be at. Now, we shouldn't have too many. We shouldn't have too many other DPS. Well, actually, no, we have a lot of DPS. Oh, and I forgot a healer. Oh my god. Okay, wait. Before I do this last these DPS, I'm gonna go back to the healer section, the support. I forgot Invis. Now Invis, I'm not gonna lie. Invis is A tier, probably S tier. I'm probably bossing it, but she's probably high S tier or high A tier into S. She's the third. She's top 3 in support in the game, hands down. Even her support doesn't last that long. She could push people off the map. She can obviously make herself cloak and go invisible. She can knock. You know, she counters some alts with the Strange ult, the Wanda alts. You know, you can push them back. She can knock flyers out the air with her L1, the little bubble that like does like tick damage. She can knock them out the air with that. So she's very strong. She's probably the 3rd best support in the game, 2nd. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's the last support though. So now let's get back to DPS. The next DPS I think was Spider-Man. I'm gonna do Spider-Man since he was first. For Spider-Man, I think I'm probably gonna say C tier. I'm not gonna lie, they've nerfed him a lot. And I don't think he is as strong as he once was. Now, this is pre-team up. He's probably like low A tier, maybe B tier. He does have a curve. He does have a plan curve, so everybody's not going to be good on him. But for right now, I think he's C tier, maybe low B tier if you want to give him credit. You know what I'm saying? They did give him another combo move that I haven't used yet. I haven't been on Spider-Man this season. I will play him though. But from what I've seen from other people that's playing Spider-Man and what I've heard, he's not that good anymore. Like, and if he is good, it's probably like, you know, one of the best Spider-Mans, a really great Spider-Man, you know, the top 2% Spider-Man. So it's not many of those. So yeah, man, I'm gonna put him in. This is my personal list again. I'm gonna put him in C tier. You know, comments. Let me know what y'all will switch. Well, let me know who y'all A and B tiers and C tiers and stuff like that. So now look. Okay, so the next one is Squirrel Girl, and I'm not gonna lie, bro. She might be D tier, bro. Like, and this is I'm putting my hate aside. I'm gonna put my hate aside and not put her in D tier. But I'm not gonna lie, if you play this character, if you have Lord Squirrel Girl, like if you have a Lord Squirrel Girl, bro, I'm gonna instantly know that you're not good at the game. I'm gonna instantly know that, bro. I'm gonna instantly know that you are not good at this game. I'm gonna instantly know that you are not that good, bro. Like, honestly, gang, if you have this character, Lord, bro, that's enough. That's all I need to know, bro. But in all seriousness, she's an okay DPS. She has good, you know, maybe in hard dive comps like a Venom, Hulk, you know, Captain America. She's really good because she has the stun. Obviously, she can jump in the air, she can get away, and then she can refresh either cooldown, which is very strong. And then her ultimate, she can kill through Cloak Ult. She's really a counter to Cloak Ult for real. So, but other than that, though, she's not really that good. Her nuts do damage, obviously, but that you can literally just walk to the side and dodge them. So, and she got to team up the Acorn. But, like, it doesn't really do that much. It does damage. It only does, like, 80 damage, so it's not that strong. So I'm going to put her in C tier for right now. She could get buffed. I don't know. But, yeah, so that's where I have it right now. For the next DPS, I have Star-Lord. I'm going to put Star-Lord in B tier. I feel like this is another DPS that needs a buff. I feel like Star-Lord doesn't really get played that much, but he's a really good DPS. And obviously in the Guardians of the Galaxy, the team comp, he's really great, obviously. But other than that, like, I feel like, I don't know. Like, the two dodges, the two dodges is great. You know, the L1 where he just shoots his guns in the circle and stuff like that. It's really good. And his ultimate, obviously, is aimbot. So that's obviously very good for killing people. But yeah, man, so I feel like he could use a little buff maybe to his base damage on his gun. But other than that, though, he's in a good spot. I feel like he's another one like Scarlet Witch. He shouldn't be too overpowered because like his kit by itself is already hit. He already has a great kit. Obviously, he can fly and he can, you know, get height and stuff like that. So yeah, he has a really good kit. It's just he doesn't do that much damage, which as y'all can see, the people that do a lot of damage or hard hitting are at the top of the DPS list. So obviously that's why I'm trending with this. So now for my next DPS, it is Storm. Now if this was season 2.5 or season 2, she would be 8 or probably S tier. But I'm gonna put her in low. I'm gonna put her in low A tier, or maybe I'm gonna put her in high B tier. I feel like Storm has got buffed, not buffed. I feel like Storm has got nerfed a lot. She doesn't do that much damage anymore. They nerfed her circle. They took out her team up. She has the Jeff now. Maybe like peak season 2.5 when they first came out with the Jeff. You know what I'm saying? Maybe she was A tier, S tier, but since then everybody's found the counters to it, so it's really not that strong anymore, especially in higher ranks. And like again, you know what I'm saying? I started the video. I said I was Celestial, peak Celestial. In those ranks, that the team up isn't really that good. Now in pro teams you do see it, but most times they destroy it with obviously a Hela or a Punisher ult, so it's not really that strong. Now I do think Storm is a really good flyer DPS, but as a flyer DPS, she isn't the best flyer DPS, and I'm gonna get to the one that's better than her soon. But so let's go to the next DPS. So Storm is in B tier for me. Now, Winter Soldier, this is another one of my mains. I'm going to put him in A tier still. I feel like he's been really underrated on people. Really underrated. I promise you this is no bias. He's probably the only other person other than maybe like a thing right now that can counter literally everything in the game other than like maybe one thing. And that's like for a thing, he can't counter polka dots. Obviously, he doesn't have a shield. But for Winter Soldier, at least Bucky, at least for him in his case, he can counter literally everything in the game. He can counter dive. He can counter flyers. He can pull people out their ults. He can counter Strange ult. He can counter Scarlet Witch ult. So I feel like Bucky is literally just he's still anti everything. He hasn't changed. The only thing that's really changed and got nerfed about Bucky is his ultimate. Like, if this was season 2, he would probably be in S tier. He was probably the best DPS in the game. Obviously, he can take flyers out the air with his R1 or his like little red beam punch that he does. He can take them out the air with that. They will drop to the ground. So, Bucky's literally just anti everything. He's probably the best anti, and on top of that, he's hit scan. So obviously that makes him better than Scarlet Witch. So I would put him out. That's why I would put him in low A tier with Punisher and Magic and yeah, so that's Winter Soldier is in A tier for me. He's literally anti everything. It's hard to not put him right here. I feel like if they just gave him a little bit more of his ult back, he would be like really in a great place right now. Like I feel like they really did buff him a little bit because they gave him an extra R1 or the punch that knocks the flyers out the air. So that was a buff in a sense. So yeah, he's an A tier for me. Now next I'm another tank buster. Wolverine, probably the best tank buster in the game, one of the best DPS in the game. He's banned every game for a reason. I'm not gonna speak on this a lot, bro. I don't have to really say nothing. They gave him life drain. He didn't really need the life drain. They gave him life drain just because. And yes, I do feel like that he should have that in the game, even though he didn't need it, because he already had that extra health when he gets low past his health. But the life drain just makes him probably the best. Now, without the life drain, he probably still high A tier, S tier. But with the life drain for him specifically, I'm gonna just take off the team up and stuff like that. Like I'm gonna put on the team up stuff. I know I didn't do that for everybody else, but for him specifically, I feel like he deserves to be in it just because of just that one thing. Like they gave him life drain, and if you played against a Wolverine in rank, because yes, sometimes he does slip through the cracks. I have played most Wolverines. I've played with Wolverine before. I've used him. He's busted. He's cracked, bro. That's why he gets banned every game. He's probably I think he has like a 50% ban rate. That's for a reason. The numbers don't lie, bro. He is the most banned DPS in the game right now, and he will continue to be the most banned DPS in the game until they nerf and until the little season update and stuff like that. He will continue to be the most banned. So I don't have to speak on it that much for Wolverine. He is in S tier. If you don't know, don't find out. Just ban him. I'm gonna just tell y'all now. Ban him. Just ban him, bro. So, yeah, man. So, he's S tier for me. The next DPS is Mr. Fantastic. And honestly, I think Mr. Fantastic is a good DPS. And he was probably in A tier. Do I want to keep him in A tier, though? They did nerf him a lot. But I think even with the nerfs, I think a good Mr. Fantastic is still really like survivable in this game. He's really great for dive. He's great for flyers too. He can pull flyers out the air. He can bump the flyers and make them fall out the air. He's basically like another Bucky, but he just isn't hit scan. So yeah, you can don't know if that's a good analysis, but that's basically the only thing I come up with. He's just not a hit scan, but he is like really anti everything too, and he's invulnerable to almost to literally every ult in the game. He can't. So as long as you have you have headphones on, you're not gonna die to any ult, to any Wanda ults, strange ults. You're not gonna get hit by that. Even Emma's ult, he's immune to all that. So yeah, mag ult, stuff like that. So Now, what I will say is what's holding him back and maybe makes him B tier is his ultimate. It's not very strong. It's kind of strong, but it's not very strong. Healers can just heal out of it very easily if they really, in higher tiers. So that's why I would say maybe he's high B tier, but I'll put him in A tier just in my opinion and playing against him and with Mr. Fantastics in the past. So for me, he's in A tier. And for the next DPS, the only other flyer, there's only 3 flyers in the game, Johnny Blaze. I feel like has been really underrated this season, but he's really probably like a top 3, 4, 5 DPS in the game, 6 maybe top 6 DPS in the game. You know what I'm saying? So, and really all these is interchangeable. You can probably put, depending on who control them, you can put him in S tier. That's why I said that everybody's list is different. But from my experience, I would probably put him in high A tier, going into S tier. He's got a really quiet buff to his damage and stuff like that nobody really talks about. But I feel like obviously when he first came out, he was really bad. He was really bad, and then they made him like literally like one of the best DPS in the game. Then they kind of gave him a nerf, and then they gave him another buff that buffed his damage. So I feel like he's in a good place again. He is in A tier for me, but he doesn't really get banned like that because people don't know how to play him. He's really a hard person to play. And that's what I'm saying. Is you can learn her skill gap. He's probably one of the best DPS in the game. That's just if you know how to play him, though. So you have to have good positioning, good map awareness and stuff like that. So it's a lot of key factors that comes with playing with him. That's why most people don't use him. But he is actually a really good DPS in the game, and I will be using him more personally. So he is an A tier for me. And last but not least, the last DPS in Marvel right now, season 3, the newest DPS in season 3. Phoenix, Jean Grey, whatever you want to say, you know what I'm saying, and around. I'm going to put her in A tier. I'm going to put her in high A tier, maybe even S tier. But for right now, I'm going to put her in A tier, high A tier. She's really good. Now, me personally, I haven't used her that much. This is just me personally. I don't like the top hit scans. I don't like hit scans like that. That really messes with my brain. Like, I feel like if it's not one tap or like like a Bucky versus a gun. Like, I feel like all the ones where like they shoot with their hands is just very, very weird to me. I don't know why, but obviously for her, she just came out this season. She's very strong. She has mobility. She has not a cloak, but she has a dash mode or whatever you want to say. You know what I'm saying? Where she can just teleport her body, do damage to whoever standing on the clone. She can fly, obviously. Her ultimate, it nullifies other ultimates, it nullifies other gadgets, rocket gadgets, penny mines, rockets, all, she's with the right team where if you're already doing a lot of damage and like, how to time her ult is very, very, very strong, very, very strong. I have some pros have her ranked in the S. Me personally, I'm going to put her in A tier, high A tier. It really doesn't matter. She can be an S tier for me, but I'm just gonna put her in A tier because I don't play her like that. But she is in high A tier just from off of what I've heard and stuff like that. So for me, this is the last DPS. She's in A tier, Phoenix. And getting into the tanks, I feel like the tank role is dying in this game. People don't like playing tanks for obvious reasons. The fly meta, if you don't know, if the fly meta took over last season. And yeah, man. Now they did do a good job of trying to balance the game with stuff like that with certain tanks. I will get into that when that time comes. But starting off, first tank, Hulk. I'm gonna put Hulk in high A tier. I feel like this season he's still banned a lot. Now he's banned because of the team up, but I feel like by himself he's gotten better. He used to be maybe like B tier, low B tier, but actually I'm gonna put him in low A tier actually. for a tank. I'm gonna put him in low A tier for me. His shield, obviously, he has to team up, obviously. His ultimate is very good. You can, some of the best Hulks in the world, they can kill support out of their ult literally and juggle people. Maybe those Hulks are S tier, but everybody isn't doing that. This is obviously my list. So low A tier for me. He's still a great tank. One of the best tanks for dive, obviously. So that's for Hulk. He's A tier for me. Now for Strange, I'm gonna say he's an A tier. Now, if this was season 2.5 and beyond, but before that, or season 2 before that, he probably would be S tier. But obviously, he lost the Gamma team up with Hulk. He has a team up with Wanda now. But I'm not gonna lie, he has too many counters in the game. Emma is really a hard counter to Strange right now, and Emma really never gets banned because she's probably on the only second option to die for tank right now. So she never gets banned. So if Emma is on and not banned, he's Strange is A tier. But if she's banned, he's S tier. And I'm gonna just leave it at that. For Captain America, before the season, he probably was A tier, but for right now, he's high B tier. He's probably the best die. I could really even put him in low A tier with Strange. And actually, that's what I'm going to do. I'm put him in low A tier with Strange. I feel like Cap has had a really good comeback to this game. He used to be really bad in the beginning. People didn't really know how to play him, but he's gotten a few buffs, and they did nerf him a little bit, but he's still really good. So, again, probably the best die tank in the game. Groot, I feel like I'm put him in low A tier too. I feel like most of the tanks are really solid right now. It's just nothing for flyers. And I'm going to get into that in a little bit. But Groot, obviously, with his walls and stuff and his ultimate combo potential, he's still a good tank. He has carry potential. And I'm going to just leave it at that. And Magneto, obviously, is probably the best tank in the game. It's not really much you can say. I shouldn't really have to explain this, but obviously, he has a shield. He can bubble people. He can bubble his teammates. That puts a lot of value in him with team comps that, have ults that, take time to get out, or take time like a Wanda, an Iron Man, a Star-Lord, a Punisher. So, he has a lot of value, a lot of damage value, and he can bubble himself, obviously protecting himself or his teammates, his support if they're getting ulted, whatever. So, and his ult obviously counters some ults in the game, and you can kill supports with his ult. So, obviously, if you don't know at this point, obviously, it's obvious. So, yeah, Magneto's S tier it's not hard to see why. Now, for Penny, I'm going to say probably high B tier. High B tier for Penny. She did get a couple buffs, and she's in a good place right now. I feel like she's really good on certain maps. She shouldn't be that OP, but on certain maps, she really is OP, and she gets banned on certain maps, and she gets banned on domination a lot, I've seen recently. So, she got the buff with her. She got the movement buff when she shoots and stuff like that. So, yeah. And she got the extra mines. The extra minefield with Rocket team up, so that's very good for her. So, yeah, I'm going to just leave it at that. She's in B tier for me. We got 4 more tanks left. Venom. Venom is probably high B tier. He did get buffed, but I don't think that was enough. I feel like he should have got more of a buff. But he is already a movement tank, so, he shouldn't be too overpowering. I understand why they didn't make him get a crazy buff, but obviously, he has the best survivability in the game. He can get over shield. He can swing away. They buffed his grab. Now they get slowed, and the grab is longer. So, he's B tier. He's a really good dive tank. He's not the best. Cap is still better, but he's really solid. Thor, I'm gonna put Thor in C tier, and only because I feel like all the reworks and stuff he got and stuff like that has been really good. But I feel like just in this comp right now, in this where the game is going, I feel like Thor doesn't really have any purpose. He's a dive tank, but he doesn't really have that much survivability as a Venom or a Cap. He doesn't have a shield. He's a brawler tank, so he's very vulnerable. Without a shield tank. So he obviously doesn't have any solo tank potential. He doesn't have a shield. He doesn't have anything that gives him more survivability. So yeah, it's pretty obvious. So I just leave it at that. He's in C tier for me. Now, probably the best 2 tanks in the game right now, and I will put both of them in S tier. And I'm gonna put Emma in high S tier obviously with Magneto, and then I'm gonna put Thing in low S tier, probably A tier. I'm gonna put him in low S tier. Now, talking about Thing, obviously, if you don't know, he got buffed. He got reworked. He can now jump the flyers. He can now jump the dive. Obviously, that was probably the biggest thing about tanks this season. And that one thing made him probably a S tier tank. He can't carry. He doesn't have, carry potential, but obviously he's probably the main counter to dive right now. So obviously he's going to be in a high A tier, S tier. So leave it at that. His ultimate is good. It's good to combo with it. He can die to DPS now. He can die to anybody on the field now, whether it's support, DPS on the other team, or your support, your team support, whatever. He can get them in a hurry. So that's really good for the game. And Emma, it's not really much to say about Emma. They've tried to nerf her. She's still broken. They tried to take her. They tried to nerf her survivability, and her kick is still broken. It's not too much to say about Emma. She probably has the best survivability for any tank, better than Captain America. So, it's not really much to say. Her ultimate is good for combos. Her ultimate is good for taking others out of her ultimate. She can really counter a lot of ults really good. Not like a Magneto ult or a Strange shield, but she can do a really good job if you're really good at positioning yourself and, being by your teammates or being there for that Iron Man ult, for that Mag ult when it comes. Or, a Strange ult when it comes, a Wanda ult when it comes. You can position yourself really well to block it with her shield. So, she's probably the best tank in the game. Her and Magneto is 1A, 1B. But, that's my list. I hope y'all enjoy. If y'all do, hit that like button. This was a long video. And, we still on that road to 1,000 subs. We really, really close. We probably 8-7 subs away, man. I appreciate the support y'all been showing me. Pain Gang. Y'all know it's the best gang on YouTube. I'll catch you on the next one. It's your boy Pain, and I'm out. Peace.